Hello, Internet. Finally back outside this week. This episode, video, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to teach you how to read a book in one day. Ideally, in less than 10 minutes. And no, I'm not talking about speed reading. And yes, I'm talking about books, even like this one. Wow, the reflection is so bright, I can't even see if you can see what's on the screen. Yeah, this book. Kind of thick. Now, there's a bit of a trick, but there's also a bit of a warning that goes along with the trick. See, this trick, it does not work with books like War and Peace, Wuthering Heights, or Watership Down, and I'm not talking about just books that start with W. That was a coincidence. I'm talking about books that have, like, the point is like a story that you're supposed to, like, sit back and enjoy. This trick doesn't work with books like that. You know, books that the school system says you're supposed to read. It also doesn't work with textbooks, in case you're thinking of using this technique to study fast. See, textbooks, they're written in such a way that you have this section and you need to understand the information in this section before you move on to the next section and the next and the next and so on. This technique doesn't work with that. It does work with the so-called self-help books or life strategy books, because here's the thing. Here's where the trick starts coming in. I know, it took my sweet time to get to the point, but, you know, you need to know what the trick doesn't work on before you can know what the trick does work on. And here's where the trick comes in. Books like this, life strategy, self-help, whatever you want to call them, they never need to be more than 5 pages long. Most of them can be summed up in 3 pages. And the reason is, and this is actually a very good example, and by the way, if you're thinking of buying this book, 12 Rules of Life by Stephen Pressfield, link in the description, and yes, it's an affiliate link, so if you click on it and buy through that link, I get like 2 cents or something. I don't even know how much I get if you buy through an affiliate link, because, I mean, and yeah, again, don't do it just because you want to help me out. You know, do it because, you know, the 12 Rules of Life can help you out, and I'll get more into what's in the book later. First, I want to, again, you know, see, this book is a very good example of how to use this trick and why this trick actually works, because most of these pages are stories and anecdotes from this dude's life and, you know, people this dude has known. Stories and anecdotes. And this is a great way of selling books, because as humans, as human culture evolved, we developed into this state of wanting to communicate information through anecdotes and stories. I mean, I think we've all known that one person who's like, oh, well, smoking can't be that bad for you because I had this, like, great aunt twice removed who smoked 1,200 cartons a day, and she lived to 150 and never had trouble breathing. You know, we like to think that's how information is conveyed, and it's never trust an anecdote. Never get your information from anecdotes. I'll always go for facts. But we like it when information is accompanied by anecdotes, because that helps to sell the validity of it. The trick, and I could go into like the tactics of the trick, but the philosophy, the strategy behind the trick is to learn to judge the information on its own merit without having to have it backed up by stories. In other words, we skip the stories. That's the number one part of the trick. And see, it took this long to get to the trick because I had to convince you that the trick, I had to take you down a story. I had to lead you through a story to tell you that the stories don't matter. I mean, yeah, there's some information in the stories, but what you're looking for is, I mean, if you want to get down into like a procedure, you know, like read the front page, read the back page, and then turn to the table of contents, wherever that is. Oh, here's the table of contents. And by the way, in the case of this book, the table of contents is the most important page. because you have the 12 rules listed right out there for you, and you know, I mean, they're in the form of chapter titles, but you can take them as the rules. And you can like skip straight to whichever rule speaks to you the most at that moment, and skim. And if like on this page here's some different friends and some more of the same, and you know, story. Okay, so these pages are pretty much not worth it. I had a client decades ago who suffered, and you know, here we are at the end of the chapter. Do not let your children do anything that makes you dislike them. Basically, like 50 pages to get to that. We skip the stuff that I mean, I'm sure in some circumstances the entire chapter can be meaningful to somebody, but if you want to digest the information in this book as quickly as possible, you need to get to the points as fast as possible. And so here's the thing, I already lost the page. Okay, I'll turn to another page. Actually, let's go back to the table of contents, because that's the one that's the most important for this book. Where's the table of contents? Okay, just this page back. Rule 7, pursue what is meaningful, not what is expedient. Okay, that's kind of ironic considering that I'm saying get to the point as fast as possible, but the point is meaningful. And see, the thing is, I may spend like 10 minutes just like going over that. Pursue what is meaningful, not what is expedient in my head. Meditate on it. And then you'll skip to the chapter, wherever that is. It's Rule 7. Okay, get while the getting is good. You read the section headings, the delay of gratification. I remember I did a video a while back on the marshmallow experiment, which was all about delaying gratification. So, you know, that is kind of meaningful to me right there. Let's see, what else? Wow, delay of gratification is a lot of pages. A lot of pages. Death, toil, and evil. I can skip over that. Evil confronted. Okay, so he's going on through a lot of biblical quotes through here. I mean, you get the idea. You skim through, like spend like 10 minutes a day skimming through the book. You're not going to read the whole book. That's the trick. You're not going to read the whole book. But you're going to get some sort of information, some sort of piece of gold from the book, and you're going to meditate on it, and you're going to like internalize it. And you may spend the rest of the day meditating on it. Meditate on it before you go to sleep, because again, that when you sleep, your brain is rewiring itself. And whatever you do in the 4 hours before you go to sleep, that's what's most likely going to get like solidified in your brain. So meditate on whatever gold you got from a book before you go to sleep. Like 10 minutes, just dig around in a book for 10 minutes, find something, meditate on it. Meditate the rest of the day. That's how you read a book a day. You don't read the whole thing. You just get to some new piece of gold. And you'll come back to this book later, another day, to get another piece of gold. And maybe you'll go to another book. This is next week's video, by the way. I'm doing 2 videos in a day. But yeah, to summarize again, because, again, to meditate. See, I'm summarizing repeatedly to help you get in the practice of meditating on an idea repeatedly. You know, you pick up a book, like read the title, read the back of the page, read the table of contents, and then dig around for 10 minutes. You find a piece of gold, and if you find a piece of gold before 10 minutes, spend the rest of the 10 minutes like meditating on it. What does it mean? How does it relate to you as a person in your life and what you're going through right now? And you'll continue meditating on it through the rest of the day and before you go to sleep. And then the next morning, pick up another book, or another book, or another book. I only brought 2 with me, and you'll repeat the process. Just 10 minutes. And I accidentally bumped the tripod, so hopefully it didn't look like an earthquake. I'm filming a little close because the microphone here is not good. But yeah, that is how you read a book in a day. You don't read the whole thing. You open it up, you dig around, you find a piece of gold, and you meditate on it. And then you come back the next day, and you do the same thing. Hopefully you find a different piece of gold.